Happy weekend from Fextralife. If you've been too busy to keep up on the latest in the games we cover, or are looking for a refresher, we've got your back. Let's take a look at the comings and goings across the Fextralife Wiki Network. Moving like a soldier. Final Fantasy XV released this week after the longest of 10-year development cycles. To mark the release, they unveiled a brand new launch trailer that sets a tone for the game's epic story. Launching with the game was the Day 1 Crown update, which brought a ton of enhancements to the game systems such as combat moves, and brought some new items like the enemy whistle and the music player. Of course, the wiki was right there at Day 1 with everything you need to know about weapons, quests, combat, the Ascension grid, skills, transports, and magic. It's a huge world with a ton to do, and we're logging everything there is, so be sure to give it a visit and share what you've learned as well. We're also pumping out some great guide videos on our YouTube channel. Trying to take down some baddies like the Bandersnatch, Naga, or Deadeye? Give our channel a look for some great help. Later in the week, we also got some info on some upcoming DLC for the game. The upcoming free holiday pack, which is set to release sometime before the end of this year, will give players some new features, specifically New Game Plus and level cap creation. Additionally, an exceptionally odd but hilarious boss fight with Square Enix president and CEO Yosuke Matsuda will also be coming to players as a boss fight. Okay? BioWare shared some insights with Game Informer regarding Mass Effect Andromeda's multiplayer and how it will connect to the game's single-player story as part of the magazine's continuing coverage for the month of November. Multiplayer in the new game is being designed to keep players constantly on the move, and there will be powers and mobility options to support this new faster style. Enemies will now be designed to flush timid players out of cover spots, so get to steppin'. Powers themselves will now have individual cooldown timers rather than a global cooldown for all powers. This is to allow players more freedom in how they operate, and gives them the flexibility to expend them all or use them in combinations. In-game currency will be used to purchase blind packs, which can unlock new weapons, kits, and items but at random. You can bypass this with real money if you like. To alleviate some of the grind, there will also be a store that sells an assortment of loot on a rotating basis. You can use either real money or in-game currency called mission funds at this loot store. Playing through multiplayer will now give players prestige XP that is shared across character roles. When you hit a prestige level, you will earn a bonus for all of your characters regardless of role, such as a health boost. The more you play and across various roles, the more you will unlock via this new progression system. Multiplayer will also have an impact on single player, but no specifics have been revealed yet. Mission funds will have in-game implications. BioWare is also designing it so that you can either send a team to complete a mission in single player or tackle it in multiplayer on your own. Overall though, multiplayer will not be an obligation for players. We also got our first real gameplay look at the game during the Game Awards. Prior to this, all we had seen was a little bit of jetpacking during a PS4 Pro demo, so we must say, it's nice to see more. The Elder Scrolls Online received a patch this week for all platforms that brought a litany of changes, as a patch is known to do. Big additions for the patch are HDR support for the PS4 and Xbox One, mixed in with the usual gamut of changes. Did you enjoy your recent romp through Tamriel as part of their consecutive free weekends on the different platforms? Or did you pick it recently up during some epic Black Friday sales? Be sure to check in with us on the wiki for help moving forward. 'Tis the season for cheer, and in a neat holiday twist, Larian Studios launched a Divinity Original Sin 2 digital advent calendar that will give players a chance at some digital goodies. Every day until December 25th, a new image will appear on the Divinity Advent calendar page and will have a number hidden somewhere inside of it. Once a number is found, you can enter the hidden number on the form linked on the page and earn some free loot. Each image lasts 24 hours and will be replaced with the next day's image at midnight Pacific Standard Time. Furthermore, a new patch for the early access version of the game went live this week and introduced some revisions to the way its attributes functions, as well as brought a long list of improvements. Checking out the game in early access? Be sure to come by the wiki and see everything that we've got for you. This week, In Exile Entertainment shared a new video for Torment Tides of Numenera their upcoming sci-fi fantasy CRPG on PC and consoles. In the video, we get a look at the aptly named Jack class, which are the jacks of all trade in the game. Surprise! Skills and ciphers are their primary focuses, which lends them versatility. Quick fingers and charm are all roguelike elements that help them navigate the world and conversations. In combat, jacks can use any weapon or armor that they can to gain the advantage depending on the situation. They can use their abilities to hit their foes with force or with clever use of ciphers. They can also toss explosives or create mirages to confuse and befuddle. Who doesn't love a little bit of deception? Let's be honest. Obsidian has released a new patch for Tyranny that addresses some pesky issues that players wreaking havoc and evil across the land have encountered in their journey of punishment. The game may be almost a month out, but there are a lot of different ways to play through it, and the wiki is a great resource in exploring all of those branching, brutal paths, so be sure to stop over. Firaxis and 2K Games have released a new update for XCOM 2 for consoles. The patch addresses some gameplay issues in both single and multiplayer, and in some of the tactical strategy games DLC. Are you still rocking XCOM 2? The deep strategy game received several nominations in some prominent end-of-year game awards, including this week's Game Awards. Deck 13 and Focus Home Interactive have released some glorious new screenshots for their upcoming action RPG, The Surge, a futuristic romp through an industrial disaster that has been described as Bloodborne meets mech. The game's premise centers around a seemingly benevolent corporation who is working to reverse the effects of global climate change. Naturally, things beneath the surface are much more sinister, resulting in catastrophe, and your character will emerge from the fallout as a former employee looking for answers in the bloodiest workers' comp case in history. The screenshots show off some of the mini-bosses that will be patrolling the Creo facility where the game takes place. We've had several first-hand opportunities with the game, both at E3 and Gamescom, and also had an opportunity to do an insightful interview with Deck 13 and came away impressed with the game's graphics and fluid combat, in which you can sever the limbs of enemies and use them as weapons. What, you've never wanted to use your enemy's leg as a baseball bat? Come on.
That dude there, I need his prosthetic leg.
His leg?
Yeah. God knows I don't need the rest of him. Look at him, he's useless.
All right.
And that's a wrap for the Week in Wikis. We're looking forward to another great week of gaming fun. Don't forget to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits, and budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks for a great week, and as always, keep checking in with us for news, reviews, YouTube streams and videos, and general wiki goodness. Follow us on social media for all the latest and greatest. The more followers we get, the larger the army of the Fexes grows.